Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Hero Signal. I was asked to do a video on what the best cards are, but while there are a lot of best cards out there that people can obtain, as well as great options for cards, especially when creating specific decks, I decided that we needed to start with the top 10 must-have cards that you can obtain through Special Ops. I'll explain briefly why this matters. First of all, new players will want to level up, and while there are several ways to do this, it makes a lot of sense to do this through Special Ops, primarily because they have a lot of important cards you can win, and the more you play, the more chances you have of obtaining those cards while you level up. These cards that you obtain through Special Ops will be cards that you will inevitably use in most of your decks. Many of them you won't be able to obtain until you unlock the hard difficulty in Special Ops. Something that's also very important to remember about obtaining these cards in Special Ops, you do not have to clear the mission with 3 stars to obtain cards in Special Ops. Simply winning the match will give you the opportunity to obtain a card. You can also use your auto clear tickets to get cards faster. Keep this in mind if there is a particular card you want to farm for from a particularly tough mission. It may make more sense to save up your auto clear tickets until you have 20 of them and then use them all until you obtain the card you're after. Here we go. The first card that's a definite must-have is Gwenpool. Consider Gwenpool to be a last act of defiance card, but unlike action cards that go away after use, Gwenpool is a card that you can continue to pull and can save you in a pinch. She will use every cosmic fragment you have, but she will damage all nearby enemies for 200 damage multiplied by how many fragments she uses. She will also utilize whatever number of fragments you pick up when you place her on the field, so she can truly be a battle saver when all the chips are down. You can find her on normal difficulty in Chapter 3, Level 8, and she's one of the easiest must-have cards to get. Another card you will want is on Hard Mode Chapter 1, Stage 3, the Techno-Organic Virus. This card is especially helpful for several reasons. First of all, this is an action card that does a decent amount of damage, but it doesn't cost any cosmic fragments to play. It also disables the target's special ability. This is really great against enemies that attack every turn and can disable high damage cards like Thor, Malekith, and even Thanos, rendering them just another card on the field. It's also really useful when you find someone who happens to have cards with uber powerful abilities like Surtur, who will always regenerate his health to full at the start of his next turn, making him very hard to kill. This next card is certainly one that you see most players slot, and it's very easy to obtain. Karen Page. At first glance, you'll notice that she's a pretty weak card. Even for a normal card, her attack damage is laughable. But where she excels is both defensively and strategically. When Karen is knocked out, you will obtain a single cosmic fragment. I still use her in many of my decks as she makes a great first play, as she can take a couple hits, but she also aids me in playing stronger cards faster once she's defeated. You can find her and farm her easily on Hard Mode Chapter 2, Level 9. While she appears on levels prior to Level 9 will also give you a chance to obtain Smart Missiles, which is also one of the action cards on our must-have list. So to follow up with Karen Page, Smart Missiles, as I previously mentioned, is on the must-have list. This card attacks 2 characters twice for 330 damage each, and can be upgraded to do much more damage later. Why is this card so great? Well, not only does it do a lot of damage, but it's great to use against characters like Clea and Doctor Strange, who protect against the first attack. It will also attack 2 characters anywhere on the field, instead of just horizontally, vertically, or near each other. While the cost is a little high at 2 cosmic fragments, you are definitely going to want this card in your arsenal. You can earn it by farming Chapter 2, Level 9. This normal 2-fragment card may not look like much, but strategically, she always seems to find use in many of my rosters. Misty Knight. Yes, her cost may be high, but as long as there is an enemy around her, she will earn you a cosmic fragment every turn. She also has decently high and balanced attack and hit point stats. Whether you're building a deck around requiring heavy fragment use, or you're just looking for a solid defender with some nice perks, Misty is a great option, and she can be found in several stages, but I would recommend Hard Mode, Chapter 2, Stage 6. You will also be able to earn the Target Locked card, which is a nice card to have on hand if you're looking for an action card caster build, which synergizes well with Misty, who is a cosmic fragment generator. In Hard Mode, Chapter 2, Stage 4, the special card you can obtain, Rocket Raccoon, is a must-have, especially if you plan on completing Special Ops with 3 stars. Rocket is amazing, and while he's been nerfed a little bit over the past few months, once he's leveled up a bit, he's a force to be reckoned with. Not only will he attack and shift 3 enemies that are on the field when he's placed, but he actually has a pretty high attack rating, which makes him a perfect character to place in a battle line. In hard mode, Chapter 3, Stage 3, our favorite Stars and Stripes hero, Captain America, will be the brute force striker you'll want on your team. Cap is formidable in both attack and defense stats, which makes him great as a battle line participant, but he also can throw and ricochet his shield from a nearby enemy to multiple enemies, doing a lot of damage. Learning how the ricochet works could take a little time, but once players get the hang of Cap, they'll realize why he's one of the popular characters in many people's decks. An added bonus in Chapter 3 Stage 3 is that you can also get the action card Common Enemy, which is a great card but not really on the must-have list. While it is helpful to take out very high damage opponents, there is a caveat that requires the enemy attack to be over 400 for the card to be used, which can sometimes hurt players when they're about to be assaulted by enemies with lower attacks. There is another action card players will really like to add to their decks, and that's Chain Lightning. You can find it in hard mode, Chapter 3, Stage 4. And this card can turn the tide of battle in one turn when played right. For starters, this card will chain to nearby enemies, but it's important to note it does not double back to hit an enemy if it has already chained away from it. That being said, this card's initial attack can deal anywhere from 400 to 600 damage, and it will reduce the damage it does to every subsequent enemy by 100 with each jump. So if it starts at 600, the next enemy hit will be 500, then 400, and so on. But the real magic of this ability is how quickly it can take out an enemy team, especially after a battle line. Whether you're using it in a pinch to save yourself from being hit with another battle line attack, or you're using it to decimate opponents, Chain Lightning is an amazing action card that only gets better with each level. In hard mode, Chapter 3, Stage 6, players will have the opportunity to earn Scorpion, a no-cost blue card that is the perfect kamikaze card. Anytime Scorpion damages the enemy opponent in battle, that opponent will be defeated. It doesn't matter if it's a Destroyer, Iron Man, Loki, or Hulk, if Scorpion does damage at all, his opponent is toast. This is a great character to use when you see that your opponent has played their big baddie card and thinks they're invincible. Just one touch of Scorpion's poison and their entire strategy can fall apart. Lastly, the end-all be-all, Unbeatable card can be easily obtained, simply by farming hard mode, Chapter 4, Stage 8. Yes, the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl is definitely the must-have card that you need, and she's freely available to those that want to farm her. Her ability is what makes her unbeatable. Simply by placing her on the field and then moving her into a battle line, you win the match. Yes, that's all you have to do, and there are very high defense, very high action card builds that play on her strengths to make those decks very hard to beat. Squirrel Girl is that one card in your arsenal that will make farming easy. She'll make opponents crumble no matter their hit point count, and if you're playing battle lines right now, you need to have at least one variant deck with her in it. You'll thank me later. And those are the top 10 must-have cards from Spec Ops. Remember to take your time and have fun with the game. There's no shame in earning cards slowly and leveling at your own pace. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and if there's anything else you want to see, please post it in the comments and I'll do my best to work on it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching everybody, and I'll see you in game.